Hello and welcome to the Customer Success Playbook podcast, where we're passionate about elevating your customer success game. I'm Roman Trebon, and I'm joined by my co-host, Kevin Metzger. Kevin, how you doing today?
Doing well.
Good. For our audience, don't forget, for a deep dive into our past episodes, videos, articles, and more, head over to our website, customersuccessplaybook.ai. And remember to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast and our YouTube channel. And we're committed to bringing you the latest insights and expertise from the industry's best minds. Kev, we got a great guest and topic lined up today. I'm super excited about this. You want to kick us off and do the introduction?
Yeah, I'm very excited as well. Today we're joined by Emilia, the founder and CEO of Growht Molocules. Emilia is an accomplished customer success leader, author, speaker, and entrepreneur with over 20 years of experience helping companies grow through customer-centric strategies. Emilia's career spans leadership roles at high-growth tech companies like WalkMe, BrightEdge, and JobVite, where she created and scaled customer success teams. And Emilia serves on advisory boards for several SaaS companies. She's also the co-founder of Pressing On as a Tech Mom, a book and movement to support women in tech. She teaches an MBA class on customer analytics and marketing, and recently had an academic paper published. In today's episode of Customer Success Playbook, we'll be exploring the growing role of AI in customer success and discussing how it can be used to elevate customer engagement and retention. The success of any business depends on creating lasting and meaningful relationships with customers, but as companies scale, delivering personalized service and predicting customer needs gets harder, and this is where AI can come in. From chatbots to predictive analytics, AI is transforming customer success. In this episode, we'll dive into how AI is impacting CS, from onboarding and education to proactive outreach and retention. We'll talk through use cases like churn predictions, virtual assistants, and conversational intelligence. I can't wait to explore this transformative topic with Emilia today. And Emilia, I don't think I mentioned it in the intro, but you're also on the board of Update AI, which is really sitting in the center of the space right now. And so I thought maybe that'd be a good place to start.
Yeah, absolutely. I love, and first of all, thank you for inviting me to be on the show today. I'm super excited to talk about this topic, but Update AI is doing incredible things with their platform, and the way that Josh and Mickey are really bringing in the voice of the users to create the future of the product is incredible. Having been with Josh for now over a year and seeing how much the product has evolved is amazing, and our company uses it. And now that I have it in our organization, I think it'd be very hard to let it go because of the amount of time it saves us in communicating with our clients.
Yeah, and for those that our audience members who aren't familiar with Update AI, and keep me honest here, Emilia, it's a AI kind of call transcription, note taking. So if you have a meeting, it's going to give you the transcription. It's going to give you the kind of the key takeaways of that conversation, the next steps to take. I think it also, I've seen it has the talk track of how often I talk versus you talk, et cetera. Am I in the right ballpark there with the solution?
You're right. And now you can share snippets from the call, which I believe is incredibly important when you're call coaching your customer success team. Not enough people leverage that opportunity. And then the other thing you can do is it writes your emails for you, for your clients. Now, of course, you'll massage it to make it your voice. You better, or people will know right away. But it does save a tremendous amount of time, because if you're a customer success manager, we've all been there. We have 6 to 8 back-to-back calls, and then you forget what the action items were in call one, and it's draining to have to go through it. So this really helps speed up time.
Yeah, I think it's such a incredible tool as far as just really being able to capture stuff. We use a tool with the podcast doing things similarly, and it really does help.
Yeah, I'm working with Kevin actually with a client now, and they're scaling Emilia like a customer success team, right? They're in like hyper growth mode, and they're still trying to figure it out. And they a few people in the team are all they're doing is taking notes and transcribing this. And I said, whoa, I think I know something here, because you had sent me that great like kind of summary of our call before you came on the show. I'm like, this is a no-brainer. Like, why are we not using this? Get something like this to come in here. How much time can you save? And I know just me being on calls and typing up notes, and like you said, when you're back to back, like I have a call at 1 and I try to get to the notes at 4, and I'm like, I don't know, my handwriting, maybe it's just me. I can't read half the notes I take, all the time. I don't remember anything. I'm like, why did I put tree on there? We weren't even talking about trees. So I think it's a great tool. And with that, is that like in terms of AI, and specifically the customer success space, a solution like that seems like a no-brainer, right? It's just a real, it's a time saver for the CS team, the efficiency you gain back. Where else, like if companies are exploring AI tools, like where else should they be looking to like really kind of help, gain efficiency and better serve their customers?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think I have a biased perspective from our clients. We work with companies who want to scale customer success. And one of the biggest challenges right now we're seeing is that executives aren't showing up to their quarterly or executive business reviews. And when we interview the clients and then we interview the customers and we ask, why the client asked us to interview you, they fully know that. Why aren't you showing up? And they flat out nearly always say the same thing. No, none of the information is new. I don't feel like it's a good investment of my time. And I want to understand why I, as an executive, when I have 30 other vendors I'm working with, I would show up to this one. Imagine having 30 quarterly business reviews every 3 months. I mean, that's overwhelming, right? You have to put your time. So what I'm leading to is a platform called Maddock. It aggregates all of the data that you have, and it literally builds your executive business reviews and talk tracks that bring insights that a CSM may not necessarily have access to, because they don't have access to Snowflake and all of the data that product might have through a platform like WalkMe or Pendo. And then to be able to tell a story makes a very different conversation. So that's another one I'm really excited about, is around the quarterly business reviews. And then I believe for executives, being able to aggregate data that you can bring to the board. The board wants to know what is happening, what is the pulse of the client and why, and where's the leaky bucket. You can't just look at NRR, for example. They want to know, how many logos are you losing, how and why. And so those kind of platforms can really help change the narrative. And then, of course, get budget. That's another reason why AI is becoming so incredibly powerful, is to be able to tell the narrative of why we should invest in one thing versus another. And then what is the forecasted revenue as a result?
Those are a lot of great kind of areas where you see it using from a scale perspective. How do you see it playing in to help scale organizations? Especially as I think budgets are tighter, right? Hiring budgets are tighter. And that means you've got to be able to get into more customers with fewer people, have more touch points. I think I definitely know there's an opportunity to kind of drive more personalization through AI. But what other areas do you see, or how else do you see that playing out?
Yeah, I believe in the training and onboarding space right now, especially with customer success professionals. AI-driven onboarding processes can help provide guidance for the CSMs on what they should be improving. There are several platforms out there. All of the learning LMS platforms out there right now are researching and trying to understand how can we make onboarding not only go faster, but also be more interactive. So our organization does training, live classes with cohorts of teams. However, what we tell them at the end is, you need to keep this going. You need to keep practicing the role playing, submitting videos of each other.
Mhm.
And then things like AI can tell you what are the keywords you missed, or where did your voice, for example, start to falter, lack confidence, use filler words. All of those kind of things AI can help with. So that's incredibly important. And then customer engagement and communication. It's really important when you're onboarding your customers that you make it a personalized communication experience. So even if you're automating a lot of it in HubSpot, a customer success platform, Salesforce, whatever, you can still make it a personalized experience with AI. Even the automated check-ins, yes, they're automatic, but if you actually pull in data from the client's account, then you're able to have that more personalized experience. I see that you're actually talking about my account, and I will click to schedule that button. I have become so obsessed with these emails. I always analyze, was this written by a human? Was it AI? Was it feeling like it's actually directed to me? And always very tempted to click reply and say, here's how you can make it better. But of course, I abstain.
So you are like super on top of like the AI space, and I know Kevin and I talk about it a lot, like even offline of the podcast. Like we both are fascinated about it, but I feel like a little overwhelmed with it. Like there's just so much data coming, and it's hard to kind of for me to sort through it. Like I guess my question is what are the voices you listen to in the space? Like the thought leaders, like how do you stay on top of it? How do I kind of sift through some of the noise versus like the real solutions, and like what really should I be paying attention to on, as we talk about AI?
Yeah, so I mean, we've already talked about Mickey and Josh. They're doing some amazing things specifically for customer success at Update AI. Another person who I think we should shine light on is Mira Murati. She's 34. She's the CTO of ChatGPT. And so she deserves so much recognition in the space. I also believe that any of the customer success platforms, I don't want to have any bias towards any of them, especially as a consultant, but they're all doing pretty incredible things with ChatGPT and how they're incorporating Bard, whatever, in their platforms, really looking at how can that help your team. Even HubSpot, they've come out with a lot. Canva, for anyone who's using Canva to create your marketing, your customer success experiences, the amount of images that you can create that are unique to your organization and your customer needs, you should be leveraging. And it's not even a person I would necessarily call out, but rather these organizations assigning someone to go research, how can we better utilize this platform so that we are creating a more customized experience that tells the customer we're listening to your needs. And those are just a few out there.
Emilia, I think you're hitting on something we've talked about with one of our other guests, a couple of our other guests, and that AI right now is really driving into the platforms, and that's kind of one of the first step of where we're going to see AI go. I have this vision in my head, I think is somewhere that we'll get to from when you have turnover in a company, when you have there's a lot of knowledge loss that occurs. And I think one of the things we'll eventually get to is having a specific customer-based AI. Basically, it knows everything that's happened on that customer, right? Starting with contract negotiations and sales, especially as we're collecting the type of data that Mickey and Josh are collecting with Update AI. You've got all that meeting data filing in, and then you've got your contracts, and then you've got all of your issues. Whether it's tracked through ServiceNow or some other tool, you've got all your issues and that kind of stuff. Do you see a scenario where you've got an AI that actually knows your customer and you can interact with it to kind of pull out and make sure you don't have the knowledge loss and where that you get today when you have turnover in a company.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm so happy to share that a lot of these platforms are already pulling in all that data into your CRM or CSP,
Right.
customer success platform. And so you're able to capture every single call without having a human copy and paste the link and all that good stuff that CSMs hate doing. And there's so much more room for error. And it's these platforms are also able to extract keywords like competitive words, for example. And so being able to look at that data holistically, I have not seen a platform out there for someone, an inventor seeking how do I break into the tech world? Well, we need one of these platforms that can really go into something like a CRM or a CSP and look at all of the signals across that customer's journey and help create a win-back program. Even if you do automate and have something like a win-back program based on all of the signals that AI is giving you, there's nothing more powerful than a phone call or a text message to someone who you have lost as a client, especially if you have the privilege to have that person's phone number. There's nothing that will speak louder. Why not pick up the phone and find out and use that data from AI to have a conversation that's meaningful? I think that makes a huge difference. The other thing, and this is in keeping that human connection with AI and not just automatically relying on it for everything, because as humans, we know if it becomes too automated, you need to keep that connection, is I believe that you can use AI to look at how much did you listen versus talk. That's incredibly powerful, because if you let the customer talk or ex-customer talk, you can learn a lot more from them and use that information to help prevent future losses. So I really think, yes, you can use AI, and I think it's important unless you're bleeding thousands of customers. I mean, then you have a whole other problem. But if you have a chunk where your sales and CS teams can call every month to really learn from them and use AI to augment those experiences, I would vote for that strategy instead.
Yeah. You work with a ton of customers. You're talking to a ton of people in the space. For those that are like embarking on their AI journey, or they want to bring in AI, they see the writing on the wall, they need to scale or whatever it may be. They want to explore that path. What are some common, like, maybe pitfalls or challenges organizations should be aware of before they embark on the AI on their AI journey?
All right. I'm so happy you asked me this, because James Scott, who you both know, and I embarked on a journey a few months ago, and we wrote a white paper on it. It's on our website. You can download it. It's all about how to bring AI into your organization in a way where you will succeed. Because starting with the common pitfalls is people will bring a platform in and not roll it out properly. One of the clients I went into a couple years ago, I slashed over $100,000 in technology in less than 4 months. They had licenses to products they didn't even know they were paying for. And I was thinking, how did the CFO approve this? But when there's changeover or multi-year license, they don't look at that.
Yeah.
So it's really important that you roll out this technology with thoughtfulness. And what we talk about in our paper is, one, it takes at least 6 communication touch points leading up to, during, and after with your team for them to understand, why is this technology coming? What's in it for me? Is it going to replace me? And if it's not, is it going to augment my job? And so having that communication set up and having open office hours, all of those things can make it better. The other thing is having a RACI model. We highly recommend that. You can look in the paper to get a deep understanding of it. But really what it means is having key people responsible for key roles and knowing who is a listener, who is a decision maker, who is really the driver, and having those clear roles when you're implementing anything, AI, anything new, is incredibly important. And then I would say having quarterly reflections on how can we make it better. We recently helped a company in Canada implement a customer success platform with a lot of AI in it, features. And they brought us back after the initial 5-week implementation to do a reflection and see where couldn't we do additional improvements. They want to make sure that they're getting full value out of the platform. So a one and done is not a good project. You need to continuously reflect on it and improve, because your clients are changing, your company products are being improved, and new features are coming out. And then your CS team is changing, your leadership is changing. So you want to make sure that you're looking at it holistically. And that's the key to success when you're rolling out these kind of technologies.
Yeah, you're reflecting some concepts. I had the opportunity to read a paper by Gartner on the rolling out of the new technologies and minimum viable products related to AI and stuff like that. And it's interesting. When I read the paper, I'm like, all right, well, this is a lot of, DevOps type stuff, your agile methodologies, just reapplying it to a new technology. But it becomes so much more important in the space with how fast you can spend and how fast you can get to things. So it's a lot of the concepts, but reapplied into AI, all the change management concepts, all the quick iterations to try and get to your MVPs to prove the value and get to, once you've proven the value of the use case, then figuring out where your real investment where you really want to invest, which is important. One of the other challenges that I know comes up a lot, and just to hear your thoughts on this, is the ethics and the biases and data and things like that of AI. I guess I'm kind of going to open it as a pretty broad question, just to get your thoughts on what you think and how to address some of that.
This is not a new problem, right? If anyone who has read Freakonomics, and you can recall one of the chapters is about students going to Harvard. And some of the students have very common names for an African American. And then the others have a very common white American, John Smith, whatever it is. And then they put the exact same resumes in front of the admissions officers with the exact same resumes. And the outcome is very different. So nothing is new here. The biases will continue. Biden today is going up against AI companies right now around ethics this morning. It was on the news. So these things will continue to happen and be a challenge. What's incredibly important and what I'm really excited about, especially since my daughter's entering college next year and watching the papers or reading the papers that she's been writing, these things are on top of the minds of these 17-year-olds, of the new generation. They really care. They want to study ethics, sustainability, how it's going to impact more than just profit. And I always talk about this when I think about a business is, how are you impacting people? How are you impacting the planet? And how are you impacting profit? If you don't have the triple bottom line, you don't have a scalable business. Mm-hmm. Eventually, people will catch up and start asking about your ethics. And so I think that's really important. Companies have to take ownership for this and leverage AI in a way that will help human centricity, right? Help humans get better, and then educate them, give them digital literacy to make up their minds on their own about what they want to do with the technology and balance. I mean, Facebook, one of my friends works there. She says her phones, the phones go off at a certain hour, emails go off at a certain hour because they want to balance people's time. And it's hard for people to balance their own time. Will I lose my job if I don't answer that email at PM? All of these things, we have to, as an organization, as a society, decide what are the limits. And I think this is an ongoing conversation that's incredibly important.
Yeah. Yeah, and kind of, and you touched on this a little earlier, Emilia, with the change management aspect of it. You know, as you're working with companies that are bringing AI in, what's been the employee experience?
Yeah. So like with any technology and as humans, we are first of all thinking about how is it going to impact me? That's absolutely Maslow's hierarchy. And then secondly, how will it impact the people around me? How will it impact the client? And so again, it comes down to communication and explaining the power of the platform, why and how is it selected over maybe others that people might be used to, and then allowing for things like open office hours, practice, training, role playing. All of those things not only will make the product more sticky, you'll quickly get your return on investment faster. And so that's really important. And study after study says you need 6 to 8 touch points, regardless of what you're doing, to get that person to click, to get that person to be confident with anything that you're doing. So it really comes down to communication and explaining to the person, what's in it for me? How will it make me better at my job, more confident, and then take away a lot of the monotonous work that CSMs unfortunately get stuck with.
Somebody in the space, a leader in the space, I think it's exciting. I think it gives the opportunity for CSMs to really be more engaged and more, you really get to use the information you have to help further your clients' goals. There are, I mean, obviously by taking away some of the monotony tasks, which I think everybody hates doing, right? That's not doing all the notes, doing all that things. Those are monotonous type things. You need to do it, but when you have a tool that can help you with that, that's fantastic. And it allows you to go get into the data, get into figuring out how you really act as the strategic partner that you should be in there trying to be as a CSM. So I think it's very exciting. Roman, you think we're at rapid fire?
I think well, Emilia, before we go to the rapid fire, I mean, any last closing thoughts? I don't know if you want to dust off the crystal ball at all and give us like a prediction where you see it, where you see the space, where you see AI in 5 to 10 years.
The two most important items on my mind are, one, data security and privacy. That's incredibly important. How is AI going to protect our human print online? I mean, you think of any baby being born, they already have a human print online because people have the pictures all over social media, whether that baby wants that picture online or not. So thinking about data and privacy, and then how can we leverage AI to support mental health? Right now, there's a huge crisis, and technology can be a source of stress and anxiety, or it can provide well-being features and operating systems and applications. And I'm part of an amazing group that has AI to support mental well-being and balance. I struggle with balance. I'll be the first. I definitely would be a self-professed workaholic, but I also really want to be present for my 3 children. And so having a platform, an app that can help with that and with people struggling is exploding. Modern Health was a client of ours, and through that platform, I was really able to understand the power of AI in technology and mental health. And I believe that space is only going to explode because not only people more open about mental well-being and struggles with it, but also the crisis is growing. It's not getting smaller with digital.
Yeah, and to have a tool that can do and help people that need it at scale, and it just I'd love to hear more on that, and we'll have to follow you to keep track on all that you're doing in that space as well. So, Kevin, you wanna get us started here?
Sure. Emilia, what's one hobby you have outside of work that helps you unwind?
I have a beautiful organic garden. I plant all sorts of stuff. Yesterday, I picked tons of figs, zucchini, tomatoes, lemons, limes. So that's just what's in season right now. But year round, I'm planting and growing what I owned, or what my company's named after, Growht Molocules.
Yeah,
awesome.
Very cool. Early bird or night owl?
Oh, I've been up since 5 a.m. I've already done in class, made muffins for my kids, lunches out the door, and here I am at 8 a.m.
That's awesome.
Do you have a favorite sport to watch or play?
Any sport I'm playing. So whether it's cycling, running, swimming, volleyball, anything that involves me playing it is my favorite.
That's fun. Favorite book?
Probably Siddhartha.
Siddhartha. I haven't heard of that.
It's a book. It's a book that will really make you reflect on your own life. Herman Hesse wrote it, and I encourage you to check it out. It's a pretty fast read.
Thanks for joining us on the show. This has been a great conversation. Really appreciate your insights into really a topic I know we get questions about all the time, and I know our audience is thinking a lot about it as well. So thank you.
Roman and Kevin, thank you for having me. I've really enjoyed it as well.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, comment, and share it with your friends and colleagues. You can also find us on LinkedIn at Roman Trebon, at Kevin Metzger. We also have our Customer Success Playbook LinkedIn page, so make sure to check that out. I mentioned the website earlier, Customer Success Playbook.ai. Sign up for our newsletter. Connect with us. Let us know your thoughts, topics, guests you'd like us to have on, etc. We're always here. We want to make sure we're bringing the right topics and discussions that you want to hear. And as always, thanks for listening.
Keep on playing.